All right, what's going on? Welcome to the New Agent Welcome, guys. My name is Jim Larson. I own the Larson Life Group. I'm a senior vice president here with Symmetry Financial. I am direct to the company by way of Jamie, Susie, and Corey Nienaber, the Reinickes, Jacob Pogue, and the Marshall Wayland hierarchy. I'm an equity partner here, thanks to the incomparable Kelly Bush. And I'm so excited to welcome new agents to this call. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to make what can be an overwhelming process of onboarding and wrapping your mind around what to expect a really super simple one. So let me go ahead, share my screen, and we're going to dive right on in here. Welcome to our new agents. All right, during this call, I'm going to break down exactly what to do, exactly what to expect, and then what help is available. So you're going to have all of this stuff at your fingertips by the end of the call. The first thing you need to understand is that success here is going to require three things. It's going to require, number one, a reason to get uncomfortable. It's going to require, number two, a willingness to get uncomfortable. Just because you've got a reason to doesn't mean you're going to be willing to. And then number three, it's going to require the grit to sit in that discomfort until it becomes comfortable. And the reason I bring this up, and I talk so much about comfort zones and discomfort, is that this is new. For so many of us, it's new. We may not come from a sales background at all. We may not come from an insurance background, even if we come from sales. Even if we come from an insurance sales background, there are going to be systems and processes and things that are new here. And anything new is going to challenge your comfort zone a little bit because it's going to be not what you normally do. And so if you're going to take on something new, if you're going to learn something new, and it's going to require you to break your comfort zone, even if it's not a skill set that's breaking your comfort zone, but it might break your comfort zone as far as the routine and the timing and when you need to work and what you need to sacrifice, you're going to need a reason to get uncomfortable. A lot of times when we're starting a business or taking on something new, we're going to call this our why. Our why. What is the motivator for you to do this? What even brought you here in the first place? You didn't come here because you were super rich and super bored. You came here because there was something that your current trajectory lacked, and you saw a vision for what this could do for you. So what was that reason? What brought you here? We're going to call that your why. It's also your reason to get uncomfortable. Alongside that reason is going to require a willingness to get uncomfortable. Again, just because you've got a reason to get uncomfortable doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be willing to get uncomfortable. And then the last thing it's going to require is the grit to sit in that discomfort until it becomes comfortable, until you've expanded your comfort zone, until this becomes second nature, old hat, and easy for you. And that's going to be a challenge. I watch it challenge a lot of people. Hopefully by the end of this call, you're going to have really clear marching orders. Again, exactly what to do, exactly what to expect, and exactly what resources are available. I recognize right out of the gate that you are drinking from a fire hose. If you are brand new to this, I know you've been drinking from a fire hose from the minute you signed up for that course, and they're throwing words at you and concepts at you you have never heard before, and you don't know that you're ever going to piece together. And then you finally do, and you pass the test, and then you come here, and we're throwing more words at you, and we've got websites and systems and back offices and processes, and all of it seems so overwhelming. And I recognize that you're drinking from a fire hose, and my goal is to make this easy for you. At our baseline, all we're doing, all the systems, all the processes, all the phone calls, all the things that we're doing, it serves one purpose, and that is to protect families' financial futures from their worst possible scenario. This is what we do. Everything that we talk about serves this purpose. Keep that in mind. We're doing really, really phenomenally good work. And keeping that in front of you can really, really help when you realize that what we're doing really matters to those families that need to file a claim. Man, the gratitude they have that this was available to them is unrivaled. All right. exactly what to do. If you're not yet licensed, and I'm making the assumption that most people here are licensed, some people are not. If you're not yet licensed, that is your goal. You want to pass the exam, get your license, apply to Symmetry, get contracted. I can't make it easier than that. Exactly what to do. That is exactly what to do. Take a screenshot of this. These are exactly your next steps if you're not yet licensed. Pass the exam, get your license, apply to Symmetry, get contracted. Nothing is going to happen for you until these things are checked off. So don't put the cart before the horse. Don't try to jump in and learn the CRM. Get these things done first, and then we can move forward from there. So if you haven't done this, screenshot this, make sure you know next steps. If you've already done these, that's what the rest of this call is going to go over. If you haven't done these, just make sure you screenshot and know, don't get ahead of yourself. You can stay on the call to see what's ahead, but don't get ahead of yourself. All right. A new agent, a brand new agent has one job. That one job is to set appointments. That's it. Don't make it any harder than that. Your one and only job is to set appointments. You're going to be like, but I don't know the product portfolio, and I don't know the CRM, and I don't know this. And again, I know you're drinking from a fire hose. So to make it easy for you, here's your one and only goal. Your one and only job to set appointments. That's it. And here's the thing. I don't care if those appointments come from friends, neighbors, leads. I don't care if those appointments come from door knocking. I don't care if those appointments, I don't care where they come from. I don't care. Your one and only job is to set appointments. So what is an appointment? An appointment looks like this. You have their pre-qualifying info. I've got it up here. Date of birth, medical info, smoking status, height, weight. You need those things in order to be able to run quotes. Alongside those four things, you need an agreed upon time to meet with that person. That's it. That's an appointment. An appointment is just, I've got your pre-qualifying info so I can go to work for you with the insurance companies, and we've agreed that we're going to meet at this time. That's totally it. That's all an appointment is. Don't make it harder than that. On medical info, you don't even need to get in the weeds with that. I just want to know what conditions have they been diagnosed with or treated for over the last 5 to 10 years. And I'll even phrase it for them to help jog their memory. Hey, anything major like a cancer diagnosis or a heart attack, anything minor like diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, anything that you're being treated for regularly, anything like that. Are you on prescription medication for anything? And then finally, my desk is running away on me. Smoking status. Not even finally, smoking status. Do they smoke? Do they use nicotine? Are they on patches? What does that stuff look like? So, and then height and weight. So these are the things you're going to need in order to set appointments, which, remember, is your one and only job as a new agent, is to set appointments. Okay, I want to make that so easy for you. If you're like, hey, what am I supposed to do? Set appointments. That's it. That's it. You have one single job. And as you set appointments, you're going to work with your mentor. You're going to go to your mentor and be like, hey, I set 3 appointments for tomorrow. Here's the first one. He's 54. Here's his date of birth. Here's his medical info. Here's the smoking status. Here's his height, weight. What do I do? And your mentor is going to work with you. They're going to show you the resources available, and they're going to help you piece together options for that client. That's it. That's as simple as this is. As your mentor shares, hey, we're going to go with this company and this policy. Here's why. That's going to introduce you to that company and that policy. That's how you're going to learn the product portfolio. You're not going to dig into the entire product portfolio. You're going to learn it that way. All right. Exactly what to do. You're going to decide ahead of time when you're working each week. Just because you decided to become a life insurance agent, or just because you decided to jump in with Symmetry, doesn't mean that you magically got 20 extra hours in a week to work this business. You didn't. You have the same amount of time that you had before you started this business. And so working this is necessarily going to have to come at the cost of something that you would otherwise be doing. What is it going to come at the cost of? What are you going to sacrifice in order to make time for this? Where is that time coming from? So at the beginning of each week, I would sit down Sunday afternoons. I would map out my week. When am I making my dials? Which training calls am I attending? Which time slots are open that I'm going to book appointments for? I would know this ahead of time so that I wasn't just scrambling around with my regular habits, my regular routine, and my regular life, hoping to find time. You're not going to find time that way. You're just not. So you've got to make time. And you're going to decide ahead of time. So this is exactly what to do. If you want to win here, I'm giving you the formula. Decide ahead of time each week when you're working. You're going to tune into 2 of the team calls per week. There's a call probably every single day. You're going to pick 2. Again, when you're deciding when you're working each week, you're going to pick 2 of those calls. And you're not just going to attend those. You're going to be camera on, engaged in the comments where those 2 calls are your only priority. And what I mean by that is you're not multitasking. Right now, I'm on a call and I see lots of off cameras. You know what that tells me? I see lots of people multitasking. Cool. I get it. I attend some calls where I multitask too. But if you want to win, you're going to pick 2 calls per week. They don't even have to be the same calls every week. But you're going to pick 2 per week where those 2 are your priority. Those are the things, that is what you're tuning into. That is what has the best of your attention, the best of your intention, and you're engaged in the comments. You're not going to be multitasking during those 2 calls. And the reason why is twofold. If you're going to build something here, you're going to want to learn to be a participant in the culture and not just a consumer of the culture. You're going to want to be able to put your hand up and have some goodwill when you're like, hey, I need help. People are like, oh, I've seen you on the calls. I've seen you in the workroom. I've seen you in the group me. Yeah, I'm happy to help. Why? Because I'm familiar with you. You're one of us. We see you. We know you. There's a camaraderie that comes with that. And so you're going to be camera on, engaged in the comments in 2 calls per week. You're going to log into the virtual workroom when you're working. I had this link up on the last slide. It's up there now, larsonlifegroup.com/call schedule. All the calls we promote are there, including the virtual workroom, which is just a Zoom room. I have it right up on the side of me. I can look up right now. We've got 33 agents are in the Zoom workroom, all working, and they're muted. And they're just not alone. They're asking and answering questions in the chat. During the day, for about 10 hours a day in 2-hour segments, there is an agent on a schedule that will volunteer to unmute themselves and live dial their actual leads. So as a new agent, you can come in there, you can turn up the volume, and you can actually listen to real agents really dialing their real leads. That's available to you all the time. That workroom's available. Most of us aren't even listening to the live dialers. Most of us just have our volume down and we're just working. But again, we're building that camaraderie. We're building that culture. We're participating in culture. We're not just consuming it with our cameras off. So be in the virtual workroom when you're working. Engage in the GroupMe conversation. Every one of you is part of a conversation in GroupMe. Engage in that for the reasons I've been talking about, to establish that goodwill, to build that rapport, to participate in culture. Welcome new people that are there. Congratulate people that are winning. Ask questions if you have them. Answer questions if you know the answer. Engage in that conversation. You want to establish your ratios ASAP. And I'm going to get into that a little bit, but that's going to be your goal, is establishing your ratios. You want to get through 1,000 dials and running 20 appointments as fast as you can. This is your learning curve. Until you've done 1,000 dials, the phone is going to feel like it weighs 1,000,000 pounds and it's going to be heavy. You need to get through that as fast as you can. Power through 1,000 dials. That doesn't mean 1,000 leads, because you can dial one single lead 3 times in a row in one dial session, let alone the next dial session and the next one. So it doesn't mean 1,000 leads. It means 1,000 proactive outgoing calls, regardless of whether people answer or not. Secondly, you need to run 20 appointments. That means preparing for and sitting with people who actually show up, not appointments you just set. Remember, your only job is to set appointments. Some of them aren't going to show, but we need to sit with 20 people, face-to-face, Zoom, phone. Mostly we're doing the phone, but you want to run 20 appointments. By the time you've done 1,000 dials, you'll be comfortable with the phone. By the time you've sat with 20 people, you'll be comfortable with the process. That's your learning curve. You're going to feel good about this by the time you're there. When people are struggling, when people are overwhelmed, when people are wondering if they've got what it takes, it's always because they've not yet done 1,000 dials and they've not yet sat with 20 people. That's your learning curve. Every time. A lot of people quit, and they always quit in the learning curve. I've never seen someone get through the learning curve and then quit on the outside. I have, but it's always personal reasons. So this is your learning curve. 1,000 dials, 20 appointments. When I say establish your ratios, this is what I mean. I mean, you want to track your data so that you know how many outgoing dials you've made and how many answers you've had. Literally, how many people have you spoken to based on those number of dials? Of the people you spoke to, those answers, how many appointments did you set? Of the appointments you set, how many did you run, as in they actually showed up for it? Of the appointments that you ran, how many applications did you submit? Of the applications you submitted, how many policies issued? These are the ratios that I want you to establish as fast as possible. I can show you what normal is. I can show you what an experienced agent is. I can show you what an average agent is. But when you're new, the most important thing is to know what your ratios are, because that's going to give me and that's going to give your mentor the tools that we need to help coach you here. If I can see, hey, your answer and appointment set rate is really good. You're really good at setting those appointments. But man, you set 15 appointments this week and you only ran 2. We gotta work on actually getting those people to show up. So that's going to give me the insight I need to know how to coach you and how to help you grow your skill set. If you don't have your ratios and you just come to me like, I'm overwhelmed, this is hard, I'm going to be like, what's hard? And you're going to feel like everything's hard. That doesn't help me. I can't help that, right? So establishing your ratios becomes hugely important. That's exactly what to do. Now I'm going to tell you what to expect. And the reason I tell you what to expect is because I am a firm believer that we are not happy or sad in a vacuum, but our emotional reaction has everything to do with what we expect. If you're gonna enjoy your experience here, it's gonna be because it met or exceeded your expectations. If you're gonna get frustrated and have a terrible experience here, it's gonna be because it was less than your expectations. Right? So this isn't just happening in a vacuum. So I want to tell you what to expect so that when it happens, you're not upset and disappointed, or you're happily excited because it went better than I prepared you for. So I'm going to give you exactly what to expect here. You can promote, you all started at 80%. You can promote to 95% in 3 months. Literally 3 months to 95%. That's going to do 2 things for you. That's going to give you a 15% raise on the policies you're writing yourself. It's also going to give you a 15% override on any new agents you bring in. A lot of people like passive income. I love passive income. You want to earn 15% on the work someone else did? Yeah, that sounds great. Promoting helps. That's your override. You can promote to 95% in 3 months. You can own your own agency in as little as 7 months. You can promote to 95% in 3 months. You can own an agency in 7 months. And that's not a timer that just starts. And if you didn't do it in 7 months, it doesn't happen. That's just as fast as it could happen. I did both of those. Kelly Bush did both of those. Amber Pearson joined June 18th, 2023 at 27 years old. In her first 6 months, she submitted 91 applications for $114,000 in APV. She became an agency owner in 9 months at 27 years old. Owns her own agency. Kelly Bush joined in January 2022 as a military wife and an RN. In her first full year, she submitted 242 applications for 264,000 in APV. She hit agency owner in 7 months and the top contract level in 2 years. Unprecedented numbers. She's a military wife and a registered nurse. She didn't have sales experience. She didn't have insurance experience. I'm telling you what you can expect here. So here's what I want you to do is I want you to text your mentor right now. Alexis, are those results typical? No. Nope, absolutely they're not. And I can answer 1,000 questions as to why. But I want you to pick up your phone and text your mentor right now. If you want to, hit 95% as fast as possible and or become an agency owner as fast as possible. Pick up your phone right now, text your mentor. Hey, I heard I could hit 95% in 3 months. Tell me how to do that. Hey, I heard I could be an agency owner in 7 months. Tell me how to do that. Let your mentor know that that's your intention, that that's what you want to do, and they're going to set you up with a plan to go do that. All right. The hardest part of any business, and I don't care, I literally don't care what business we're talking about. We could be talking about a coffee shop, a pizza place, an insurance business, a law firm, a roofing and siding company. It does not matter. Business is business. The hardest part of any business is lead generation, and I need you to understand this. What I mean by lead generation is this. You could own a roofing and siding company, and you could put on the best roof and the best siding in your entire county. You could literally be the most skilled individual at doing that job. But if you don't know how to get in front of people that need siding or need a roof, it doesn't matter how good you are at it. You could be the best real estate agent in 4 counties, but if you don't know how to get in front of people that are looking to buy or sell a house, it doesn't matter that you're good at processing the paperwork. Anyone can help that client process the paperwork. In business, the people who win are the people who know how to get in front of those that have the problem they solve. That's the biggest challenge in business. It's not doing the work. There's a lot of life insurance agents out there. I can show anyone how to be a life insurance agent. Your biggest challenge is not going to be finding the right policy, and your biggest challenge is not going to be the paperwork of writing a policy. The biggest challenge you're going to face in business is the biggest challenge every entrepreneur faces in business, and that is getting in front of the people who have the problem you solve. Symmetry helps us with this. They produce leads. So you don't have to go knocking on friends and family's doors. You don't have to go run your ad campaigns. You don't have to put your ads in newspapers. You don't have to fight to get in front of people. You can do any lead generation you want to, but Symmetry's done that for you. We've got leads. Do you pay for them? Yes, you pay for leads just like any business owner would pay for advertising to what? Get in front of people that have the problem that we solve. This is business. There's nothing harder here than any other business. Now, just because that lead comes in, does that mean that is a guaranteed sale to you? Someone sees the flyer for the roofing and siding thing. They paid a lot of money to have their name in that flyer. I give a call. I'm curious about the price. Does that mean I'm a guaranteed customer? No, there's a lot of work that needs to happen. Maybe I'm vetting several people. Maybe I'm just pricing them out. Right? This is business. It becomes on you to hone your skill set, to ask the right questions, to probe, to get them aware of their problem. This is all the coaching and the skill set that you're going to find in call after call after call. This is why I really promote the training calls. This is the stuff you're going to learn, is how to convert leads to business, how to help people become aware of the problem that they want your help solving it. That's where you come in, right? So we've got leads here. Here's what I want you to expect. I want you to expect to spend $250 a week on leads for your first 6 weeks in order to establish your ratios. We talked about those ratios. I can't overstress the importance of knowing those ratios. There is nothing worse for someone in sales than having nobody to talk to. So if you're not buying leads and you don't have a lead budget, my question to you very clearly as a mentor is going to be, how do you expect to establish your ratios? Dials to answers, answers to appointments set to appointments run to app submitted to policies issued. How do you expect, who are you calling? Where is your business coming from? If you don't have a lead budget, what is your alternative plan? That's my question for you. If you've got a great answer, great. Most people don't have a great answer, so I'm going to say you got to get in front of leads. You got to learn this. You got to learn the scripts. You got to learn the objections. You got to swing the bat 1,000 times. You got to get comfortable with this process. I want you to expect that most people quit. I want you to look to the left and the right on this call and realize that most of y'all ain't going to be here a year from now. That's not being mean. And when Alexis asks, are those results typical? No, Alexis, to be honest with you, the most typical results are that people are not going to be here a year from now. And if you hang with me to the 8 p.m. Eastern call, I'm going to explain a lot of why that is. But I'll tell you, people come here and their expectations aren't right. That's a lot of it. People get frustrated because they, I don't know if they thought it was just going to be easy. If they thought they were just going to pick up phone and everybody who needed life insurance was just going to come knocking on their door all of a sudden. Knock, knock. Heard you sell life insurance now. I'm here. I need life insurance. I don't know if you expected that to happen. I want to make you a promise. That is not going to happen. Just because you got your license does not mean anybody is showing up at your house looking to buy life insurance. You're going to have to hunt that business. You're going to have to get good at working leads. Most people are going to quit. Winning here, and this is not just here, guys, this is going to be kind of a life lesson. Winning in anything is going to require surrounding yourself with others who are winning at what you want to win at. If you want to win at life insurance, you want to surround yourself with life insurance agents who are winning. If you want to win at fitness, you are not surrounding yourself with obese smokers. I promise you're not doing that. You're not going to win. You're going to surround yourself with people who are fit and are winning in fitness. If you want to win at golf, what are you doing? You're surrounding yourself with golfers. You're getting out, you're golfing, you're thinking golf, you're talking golf, you're watching golf on Instagram, you're learning, you're processing, you're getting better. Winning is going to require surrounding yourself with people who are good at what you want to be good at. That is true for anything in life, but it's also and especially true here. If you want to get good at this, then you're going to have to surround yourself with the people who are good at this. Hence, getting on at least 2 calls a week with your camera on, engaged in the comments, being in the GroupMe conversation, being in the Zoom workroom. I'm not telling you guys this stuff just for fun. It's not like I just want to see your faces or I have an ego thing and I really need my calls to be big with lots of people on it. I'm telling you this because this is simply what the people who win do. I have never, ever seen an exception. I look at leaderboards every day. I have never looked at the leaderboards and seen somebody on the top making a ton of money, protecting a ton of families, and said to myself, that's a name I've never seen before. That person is not on the calls. They're not in the workroom. They're not on GroupMe. Where did this random person come from that's awesome at selling life insurance? That has never happened, ever. The people who are winning are on the calls. They're in the workroom. They're in GroupMe every time, every single time. So if you're like, hey, I came here with big goals, I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. And I did. Now it's up to you to figure out if you're going to do it or not. And that's the thing, Alexis. A lot of people just don't do what I tell them to do. And then they quit. They don't get on the calls. They don't work in the workroom. They're not active on GroupMe. They're literally everything I'm telling them to do. I tell them, hey, plan your week before the week, right? Exactly what to do. And they don't plan their week before the week. And then they find out, oh, I'm so busy. I told you, I can't tell you more clearly. So yeah, most people quit because they don't do what I'm telling you to do. I want you to expect to reach out to your mentor at least once a week to update them on what you're learning. Hey, this week I learned this. This week I learned this. This week, here's my biggest challenge. Here's what I'm up against. This is really frustrating me. I'm setting appointments and they are just not coming to the table. Help me figure that out. Great. Happy to. I love this text message. I got a text message from Craig McManaman. In 2023, Craig was the agency owner of the year, meaning he broke out as agency owner and his agency did more volume than anyone else that broke out as an agency owner that year. And so he texted me this. He goes, remember when you, talking to me, were on my call and you asked, I was on his team call, and I asked if people were thinking of quitting. And one guy in the comments literally said, yeah, right now. In the comments, this guy's honest enough to put his hand up and say, yes, I'm thinking of quitting right now. That same agent, Craig goes on, has written almost $20,000 in premium this week. He has said multiple times that the call with you turned his mindset around. This is the conversation I had with him tonight. And then he texted to me, I zoomed in. So now this is Craig talking to that agent, Brett, who was on the verge of quitting. Craig texts him, how are you doing? Tell me how you feel. And Brett responds, oh man, I don't know if I fully understand what's happening yet, but I'm pretty sure coming here was the best decision I've ever made. I probably won't ever stop thanking you and Sierra for bringing me here. Craig replies, dude, I am so proud of you. All this business that you've written, that 20K, that's all approved. Like you're going to get paid on that? What types of leads are these? Brett responds, I'm waiting for Americo to verify my non-resident licenses. And then, yeah, I should be getting a nice chunk of change this week. I'm working on my standing lead order leads. And he goes on about leads a little bit. And then he hits this last sentence that I love. Thanks, man. Everything you keep saying is coming true. This is why I'm telling you what to expect. I'm telling you what to expect because I want you to know what's coming down the road. Most people quit. This isn't going to be easy. It's going to be hard. It's also going to be really, really worth it. This is an experienced agent working A-leads. 300 dials is going to lead to 60 answers. 60 answers is going to lead to 20 appointments set. 20 appointments set is going to lead to 10 appointments run. 10 appointments run is going to lead to 5 apps submitted, and 5 apps submitted is going to lead to 4 policies issued. Your mileage, I promise, is going to vary. Good agents do better than this. Good agents are going to have better than a 50% show rate. Good agents are going to have better than a 50% close rate. This is an experienced agent, but not the best we've got. But I want you to use this as sort of like, okay, this is my framework. So if you have 60 answers and you talk to 60 people and you only set 5 appointments, I know you're not pushing past their first layer of resistance. We got to coach that. If you set 20 appointments, but you only run 3, I know we've got to work on locking down that appointment, stressing the importance of that and getting them to the table. If you run 10 appointments, but you only submit 2 applications, I know we've got to work on closing. If you submit 5 applications, but only 1 or 2 of those policies actually get issued, I know we need to work on finding the right policy for the client. Right? This is how we do it, and this is why those ratios are so important. One of the other things that we promote big, if I've not been big enough on like be around the people who are winning, we have a conference coming up in Dallas, Texas at the end of February, February 26th to 28th, literally the end of February in Dallas. It's called the Ignite Conference. I want you there. If you're even like on the fence, if you have any inkling in your head that's like, I think I want to turn this into something. Yeah, awesome. You have to be at this conference. And here's the exciting thing about you guys that are getting started right now. You have enough time between now and this conference to get through the learning curve. You have enough time to get through 1,000 dials and 20 appointments so that when you get there, everything's going to make sense to you. You're no longer drinking from a fire hose. You're going to see a panel on stage with the top producers in the company telling you exactly what leads they work, exactly what scripts they use, exactly how they're converting these leads. And because you've worked with leads, You're going to be like, oh, I ran into that problem. That's how they solve it. Oh, I've been there. That's how they do it. Some people are going to join Symmetry in January and turn right around in February and go. And that's awesome. I love it. But they're not going to be through the learning curve. And so they're going to still show up there drinking from a fire hose. You're in a really unique spot. Scan that QR code and get yourself to the conference. All that QR code is going to do, it's going to bring up a jot form where my admin, you're going to declare your intention to my admin, and then she's going to go to work to help find you a ticket because we're really close to selling out and we have discounted ones. So we want you there. So you're going to hit that QR code and you're going to fill out the jot form to let Sid Franklin, Sid is our admin of the Larson Life Group. You're going to let her know that you intend to go, and then she's going to work with you. You're going to need help along the way. I built this out for all the things you need. LarsonLifeGroup.com/help. Whatever help you need. You need help with the phones? We've got it. You need help finding the right policy for a client you set an appointment with? We've got it. You need help closing? We've got it. You need help not quitting? We've got it. You need help getting good at this? We've got it. You need book recommendations? We've got it. Everything you're going to need is right there. LarsonLifeGroup.com/help. And then on YouTube, all of our team replays are on YouTube. I'm recording this one now. This is going to go up on YouTube tomorrow as our new agent welcome call. In about 23 minutes, we're doing our large team call right here on this exact same link. We're doing that call right here. And I'm going to talk about the fear of failure. And I want you there. So here's what's going to happen next. I'm going to stop this recording. So those of you on the replay, work with your mentor. We're so glad you're here. We expect that you're going to be awesome and that you're not going to be one of the large numbers of people who quit. We expect that. We've got all the tools here, for you to win. So I'm going to stop this recording. And then if I can figure out how to stop this recording, there we go. Nope, I don't know how to stop this recording. There it is.